show is brought to you by the Chiropractic Broadcast Network. Check us out on the web at chiropracticbroadcastnetwork.com. And hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tuning Into Health. My name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, and this is the Thursday, December 29th. I think we're at episode 157. Oh, it is at the end of the year, folks. And we talked about a lot this year. If you want to do yourself a favor, Facebook has turned into kind of like a My Diary. Yeah, their new, timeline. I went back to January and started looking for all the most incredible news stories of the year. And we're not going to get through it all, but I'll try. But we're going to have fun trying, okay? Because we've got the marvelous health of unvaccinated children by an MD. Yes, sex can kill you, a U.S. study says. That was back in, not too long ago. And when was that? Never mind. When you cough up green or yellow phlegm, you need to be prescribed antibiotics, right? Is that the case? Well, it might lead to the fact that half of all Americans have pre-existing chronic health care conditions. Not good. This is not something to be proud of, and it's not something that the medical establishment should hang their hat on. I'll tell you that much. How about doctors and parents? Should they fret over a kid's fever? What do you think? How about those nasty medical students performing intrusive exams on unconscious patients? Not cool. And also a big study of vaccinated kids have 2 to 5 times more disease than the unvaccinated. Yeah, there are a lot of vaccine stories, I know. But we'll have fun and we'll review. Welcome again, everybody, to this edition of Tuning Into Health. My name is Dr. Chad Rohlfsen, a local chiropractor right here from Des Moines, Iowa. You know, where all the political hubbub is going on right now. I guess all the media is scrambling up towards the state house or the state capitol, because I got a buddy up there that's just like, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. There's CNN vans everywhere, Fox News, MSNBC. All the news types are here in Iowa because the focus comes on who's our next president, Republican, going to be. Next Republican primary winner going to be, right? Iowa's the first in the nation, and we will always remain the first. And because there's some other states that have tried to bump up their primaries to beat Iowa, Iowa just does it first. So what it does is it makes it irrelevant who we choose, right? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So yeah, I'm checking my whole timeline for this year of 2011. I didn't do this last year, but went through all the health stories and all the political stories because, you know, I'm a political hack too. I just love politics and they frustrate the hell out of me, but I have fun with them anyway. But looking at all the stories that I've covered over this last year, and it's every day. I post something on Facebook. I've tried to tame that down a little bit, but there's so many stories. I got a ream of paper almost here, maybe a fourth of a ream of paper. because it was so much. But and I got here early this morning and then did as much as I could, and then saw patients, and then was coming back here in between sometimes, and I only got through October. But there's so much. And you know what? The interesting thing is, because on Facebook now they have this timeline. You can go back as far to the point of where you started. What was it, back in 2007 or something like that when I started with Facebook? And you can look at what you were posting back then, which is really astounding. Well, what I found out, which didn't really surprise me too much, but what I post is pretty darn consistent. And what we think of as news really isn't news, folks. It's rehashed. It's already been said. It's already been out there. And this is all about the play for hearts and minds, for people to get to start thinking critically about what they're looking at their nightly news. When you get the new media, things like this show that are trying to explain things that are different than what the mainstream media is telling you, well, you got to start taking a look, and you got to start looking at things critically. And that's the only wish that I ever have for anybody who listens to a show like this, is that you look at things critically. Don't take my word for it. I'm just giving you my opinion. If you don't care about my opinion, that's fine. It means I don't care about your opinion either if I don't go on your Facebook page. So, and look at you and try to argue points with you and all that type of stuff. But the thing is I've been collecting stories for, I would say 2004 is when the internet just kind of started going up, and the emails and all this type of stuff. And I realized early on that the power is how many people you reach. And so if I wanted somebody to pay attention to something, like the president of Palmer College at that time, I would put his name on the recipient field, and then on the CC area put 150 other names. So that's how you get your stuff noticed, is when you're trying to express an idea to somebody, you put them at the top. And so everybody knows that they know what that story is saying. How are they going to respond? So that's how you got action done back then. And today it's a little different with the Facebook and all that type of stuff. But it's all about hearts and minds. And the stuff I was posting in the back in 2004, 2005, besides jokes, because I would send a lot of jokes out, and that would end up annoying people. And it annoys me today when I get constant jokes that I, don't necessarily want the jokes from that person because it's so many. Basically, I don't want to invade or spam somebody's inbox. So I switched to this format. But what I was saying back then is everything I was saying today. It's pretty consistent. And that's when you got to start taking notice. If you look back on my timeline, which you're more than welcome to do, and you look back as far as 2007, as far as it can reach, you'll see the same types of stories. And these aren't the stories that you find in your mainstream media. So, hey, everybody, if you'd like to press that little Facebook or Twitter button and let people know what you're watching, I'd really appreciate it. Even if you're watching the recorded version, because that's the majority of people. This is a TiVo nation, folks. So the live show is just kind of there, blah, blah, blah. But most people are watching the recorded show either on YouTube or on Blip. I have them on both right now. And Blip is going through some things with their audio sequencing. So, but otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for those who consistently watch and consistently give ideas and remarks and all that type of stuff. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, big study. So this is one of the big stories from 2000. Yeah, when was it? 2000. This is October. It's a German study released in September 2011 about 8,000 unvaccinated children, newborn to 19 years old, showed that the vaccinated children have at least 2 to 5 times more diseases and disorders than the non-vaccinated. The results are presented in the bar chart below. Complete study and data results are here. So I will be posting all of these stories, even the ones I don't cover today, as a repost on my Facebook page, so you're more than welcome. Consider this. You are in a situation, an unfortunate situation, where you need to be in surgery, right? And you need to be put under for that surgery. And I've talked about this before with people that they have an informed consent, and it says so-and-so and his partners. Well, those so-and-so and his partners can be students at times. If you really want to screw up somebody's surgery schedule, what you do is you black out and their partners and put the name of the surgeon that you know wants to do that needs to do the surgery. But it turns out that medical students are performing intrusive exams on unconscious patients, because that's when they can, get in there and look. They've reportedly been performing them without the consent of the patients while they're under anesthetic. Medical students are carrying out intrusive procedures on unconscious and anesthetized patients without getting the patient's consent, and unauthorized examinations include genital and rectal and breast exams, and raise serious questions about ethics from upcoming doctors, medicine reports. And you'd like to think that upcoming doctors are more mature and blah, 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 blah. They're idiots. Yep. They're human beings. Upcoming doctors are idiots sometimes. Well, a lot of times. Anyway, doctors, parents shouldn't fret over kids' fevers. Fever phobia is rampant among parents of young children, according to myth-busting American Academy of Pediatrics report that advises against the treatment every time a kid's temperature inches up. There's a lot of parental anxiety about fevers because they've been jam-packed with television commercials telling your baby's going to die. It's one of the most common reasons people bring their child to the doctor. So most often kids' fevers are caused by viruses, and they'll go away without medicines or without causing any damage. But what they do, yeah. But there's another story here, because they use antibiotics like they're going to candy, right? They even flavor them like bubble gum. When you cough up green or yellow phlegm, do you need prescribed antibiotics, right? You need prescribed antibiotics, right? No, that's not the case. In fact, antibiotic prescriptions is a situation simply unnecessary, exposes people to side effects from antibiotics, undermines future self-care, and drives up antibiotic resistance. It comes from Eureka Alert. And that was in April, I believe, I posted that. So, March 2011. How about this? Sex can kill you, says a U.S. study. This is March 22nd, Chicago. Sudden bursts of moderate and intense physical activity, such as jogging or having sex, significantly increases the risk of having a heart attack, especially in people who do not regularly exercise, U.S. researchers said on Tuesday. Doctors have known that the physical activity causes serious heart problems, but new study helps to quantify the risk. So, basically, this place in Boston, whose study appears in the American Journal of Medicine. They've noticed that. Also, there's believe it or not, infidelity. There is more of a chance that men, if they have sex with somebody who's not their wife, will have a higher incidence of a heart attack too. Because, I guess it's more exciting, huh? And gets their blood pressure up. The Marvelous Health of Unvaccinated Children. This is by Dr. Berthode, MD, medical doctor and pediatrician. April, this story was out. Yeah, was it? Yeah. Okay, I was invited to give a speech at a conference on vaccinations. I was to talk after 2 hours of the best speakers from France had to offer on the subject, had their turn. Journalists Simon, a biologist, and Michael Gorget had had hearing to speak them in the past. It's absolutely clear to me that the best option is to stay away as far as possible from vaccines. So he was at a conference and he listened to these people talking about staying away from vaccines. I just did not know what to do. Instead, to best assure staying alive and well. As a pediatrician and a homeopath qualified to speak on the subject, I decided to set up a conference called The Marvelous Health of Unvaccinated Children, along with my friends. This work would later evolve into a book that analyzes various life choices made by families who do not vaccinate, including home birth, breastfeeding, simple therapies, good food, and awful, tranquil living environments, and trust in the capacity of the body to heal itself. So I'll have this posted on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You're more than welcome to subscribe or add a friendship, and if you're not a jerk, I will accept you as a friend. Half of all Americans have pre-existing health care conditions. This is January of 2011. Many as 129,000 non-elderly Americans have pre-existing health care conditions that puts them at the risk of being denied affordable coverage without health care overhaul, according to the government report. So this is a push for, guess what? Yes, healthcare, unified healthcare. The estimate reports nearly half of Americans younger than 65 and 86% of people 55 to 64. Secretary of Health of Human Services Kathleen Sebelius released a report hours before the House of Representatives was set to begin the debate on the Republican-spearheaded health care repeal bill. So I'm sorry, that'll lead us to bankruptcy far faster than anything. Speaking of which, if you are, tell you what, this healthcare thing, we don't know who we get as a Republican challenger, but even if Obama wins, they're going to push it forward, and your health freedoms are going to go away. So if you want somebody who's going to keep your health records private and not participate in that system and not report your health status to the government, you might want to consider this.
We love our chiropractor, and I've got 3 great reasons why. First, there are no appointments, which is great for my busy life. Second, we don't waste a lot of time sitting in a waiting room. Dr. Chad actually respects our time and schedule. Third, we get unlimited care at a low fixed monthly fee. That's right, my family's care is based on our needs, not the insurance company's ability to pay. You can love your chiropractor too, and your first adjustment at the Spinal Tuning Center is free. The Spinal Tuning Center is conveniently located on Merle Hay Road, right off Interstate 80. Find out more at spinaltuning.com or call 727-4000.
Attention small business owners. Are your marketing materials looking stale? Does the expense of hiring an advertising company just make you cringe? Let Cinnamon Rost with 1809 Design discover your company's unique personality and help you find a design that fits your business and attracts your customers. Working one-on-one with a professional designer means you'll receive a quality finished product quicker and for a lower price. From logos to business cards and flyers to banners, 1809 Design looks forward to helping you with your next marketing endeavor. Visit 1809design.com or call 515-989-1809 today. And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad.
And we are back with the year in review. Oh, so much stuff. And are you going to use it when you hear it? Are you going to use it? I'm just going to go randomly through the stack because I got too much. So, Oh, it's Pediatric Academy. This is interesting. Pediatrics Academy seeks to strong-arm CBS to take down our Times Square vaccination warning. A short 15-second public services message on the CBS Jumbotron at Times Square in New York City has been encouraging everyone to make informed vaccine choices. The message is sponsored by the National Vaccine Information Center, a nonprofit charity that was made possible by donations from Mercola.com. On April 13th, the president of the American Academy of Pediatrics sent a letter to the CBS attempting to strong-arm the network into taking the message down. The AAP letter was provided to bloggers and mainstream media outlets who republished the attack and added more disinformation to their own. They did the same thing for the Delta Airlines. Evidently, the American Pediatrics Association does not want parents to make a fully informed decision about the health and safety of their children. You should not have that, right? Yeah, right. So I don't know. If you knew that your medical doctor did not want you to have as much information so you could, make a fully informed decision, what would you say to that doctor? I want you to put yourself in that position. If you knew that your doctor opposed your ability to make a fully informed decision, would you be more apt to, go along with their recommendations if they didn't want you to know everything about it? So, yep. So there's some great videos that I wanted to show you as well that are out there. So I'm just gonna poke through them and so you can see them. I won't go through all of them, but yeah, you got to see this.
Define better. Yeah. Define better. Yeah. They say he's better. I look him in the eyes, I see a glassy look. He's not really there, it's a life they took. He no longer cries, no longer sings, hardly ever laughs, don't do much of anything. But he's much more quiet, he's not in the hair, also much less alive, but they don't really care. Less in the way is what they really want. They claim they got the cure, but this lies they flaunt. He used to be alive, now he's closer to dead. But they say he's better, he don't fight him for Zed. I tell it like it is, but they don't want to hear it. Just stuff him full of drugs like they done for years. Speak out against the label and the drug and now. And the ones being played, screaming how about the people they claim this improved to the letter. Just look them in the eyes and say, define better.
Do you mean sedated? Don't you mean jumped down? Do you mean regulated?
Define better.
Do you mean suffocated? Don't you mean dumbed down? Do you mean dominated?
Define
They say
better.
she's better, never speaks her mind no more, never rocks the boat, she keeps her eyes to the floor. A tasket, her mind is in a basket. No strength to make her stand, cause she knows she'll get her ass kicked. But she can pop another pill to make her better still, while distancing the dream she will never fulfill. Time to kill, take a spill. These drugs making death look better to her, maybe she will. Her body's still there, but the sparkle is gone. In a materialistic world, where does the spirit belong? So who's gonna notice there is anything wrong? What fools call it better, droning on and on. It's not a problem in her, it's a problem to you. She's got a problem.
All right, folks, when the world's gone crazy, what you do is you look to art. Fantastic video. I don't like rap music at all, but when it's got that type of message, I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. Here's a teacher that was sacked for refusing to remove "Have you drugged your kids today?" bumper sticker. Here, this was March 2011. A teacher had been fired over her bumper sticker, which mocked parents who, mollycoddled their children. This is in Britain, I think. Yeah, the UK Daily News. So, mollycoddled. I've never heard of it called that before. So, yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting because I'm just going to go through, because I got a couple more videos that I want to show you guys and all that type of jazz. So, yeah. But this teacher, poor teacher, gets sacked because, she stands up for, what business is it of anybody else's what she has on her bumper sticker? So Tara Ashburn is her name, and she says, "Have you drugged your kid today?" Sticker on her Toyota Prius in a protest of what she claims is the over-medication of today's children. She has 60 other such stickers on the car, and 60? Woman, okay, that gets a little... 60 other stickers on her car, including recycle or die, and a clear conscience is a sign of a bad memory. 5 parents at Imagine Prep School in Surprise, Arizona objected to the suggestion that her children were on drugs when they complained Miss Ashburn was asked to remove it or park her car off school grounds. She refused and was fired. This isn't Arizona. This is in the United States. You don't hear about this in the mainstream media. What you hear about it is in the Daily UK Mail. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. So, how come you didn't hear about that on the nightly news, huh? Probably is it because you'd raise awareness to that subject? And the nightly news is, they're advertisers, people that spend over $20 billion a year in the media would get upset at the media's choice of stories. How about this? The AMA conspiracy against chiropractic. You've heard it before. The medical profession has a long history of opposing alternative healing professions while claiming public safety is a reason for its attacks. The true reason involves protecting their monopoly on the healthcare market. In the past, medicine has fought battles to limit the practice of such professionals, and homeopaths, naturopaths, osteopaths, podiatrists, optometrists, dentists, psychologists, and chiropractors. The osteopaths kind of caved in, and they're no different today. So some chiropractors want to do that too, which is sickening. The case of osteopathy and chiropractic, there's a distinct difference in the approach of healing and health when compared to medicine. Not necessarily today with osteopathy. The last thing that organized medicine wants is for their doctrine of drugs and surgery to be challenged. Osteopaths allow them to be absorbed by medicine. Today, there's little difference between an MD and a DO. Chiropractic, on the other hand, has fought hard to remain separate and distinct. And we have something called the chiropractic index finger. And we gave that to the medical doctors when they wanted us to join them. Medicine opposition to chiropractic has its strongest under the leadership of Morris Fishburne. Fishburne is the Secretary of the American Medical Association from 1924 to 1949, led a 50-year anti-chiropractic campaign in both professional publications and public media. Fishburne called chiropractors rabid dogs and referred to them as playful and cute but killers. God. Glass houses. They tried to portray chiropractic as members of the unscientific cult, caring about nothing else but taking their patients' money. So then they got found guilty in federal court, and some say the AMA is still trying to appeal that decision, but they've been whacked down 19 times. So, but yeah, we're radical, aren't we? Chiropractic is radical. So it's a radical concept. So let's watch this little ditty.
Is chiropractic radical? Columbus was a radical for believing that the earth is round. Gandhi was a radical for believing that peace is a viable solution. Dr. Martin Luther King was a radical for believing that we are stronger together rather than apart. Some consider chiropractors radical for advocating that the way that we eat, breathe, think, and move matters. For understanding that our neurologic integrity is the most important tenet of health. And for believing that, when in alignment, the power that made the body heals the body. If being proactive rather than reactive, believing in wellness care rather than sickness care, and understanding that the best doctor in the world lies within each of us, means that we are radical, then yes, we are proudly radical. We are also safe, effective, and natural.
Booyah.
Looking back, it's often been radical thinking that moves us forward. Think differently. Choose chiropractic.
But even though we've got great concepts like that, we've got problems within our profession because this year we fought with the CCE, the Council of Chiropractic Education, which they basically unilaterally want to change the definition of chiropractic. We are a drugless and non-surgical profession. Well, they want to add the practice of prescribing drugs to our profession, which it goes against everything that chiropractic's ever been about. It would not be chiropractic if we started prescribing drugs. And we got some of our practitioners that are kind of salivating, saying, well, that would give us the power to take patients off medications, which you don't want to have that power. Well, if you have that power, then it only takes one case for us as a profession to get doused. One case of where it goes wrong, right? And your power as a prescription will be called into question, and then our profession will be dragged through the mud thanks to you. So you don't have any power. Don't even think that you would have any power. The power really lies in helping the patient understand the risks and associated with choosing the type of lifestyle that they're choosing. And I think today I have more power while not having prescription rights than I would if I had prescription rights. So, but Dr. Kent wrote an interesting article, and this was back in, was it in June? But it says, the profession formerly known as chiropractic. As reported in the last publication last month, the Council of Chiropractic Education has released its revised accreditation standards, which go into effect 2012. Now, not so really, because they got spanked by the Department of Education. They got spanked with over 41 or 44 violations, which is a record for the Department of Education to have the violations associated. So they told the CCE that they have to represent the whole profession. They can't just represent the profession that they feel is good. But I would rather do away with the CCE completely. It doesn't represent me as a practicing chiropractor. Don't want it to. It's embarrassing, actually. The terms of primary and primary care physician are not defined in the document in spite their mention. There are conflicting definitions of primary care and primary care physician. So basically, he goes over a great article. I have it published on facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You can look at that. So if you missed it, Dr. Kent is a great asset to our profession. He is principled, and he's also an attorney, too. So he just has a little extra. So, yes. How about this? Ghostwriting persists in all major medical journals. This comes from MSNBC. So you know it's true, right? MSNBC is having problems with their credibility, I would say. So Wednesday, honorary ghost authors were involved in 21% of articles published in 6 leading medical journals, and which shows the type of inappropriate authorship remains a problem, a new study says. Honorary authors of the people named as the authors despite making a substantial enough contribution to take responsibility. Not making a substantial enough contribution to take responsibility of the research. Ghost authors are often people who play a major role in the research and participate in writing the article, but are not named as authors. Basically, because the pharmaceutical companies have a habit of hiring non-licensed physicians to do a lot of their research. People that have sexual harassment, people of moral character that they can't maintain their license. And so these would be the ghostwriters. And so what they do is they target doctors that have these stellar reputations and basically put their name on the work that they didn't do. And that is rampant through the healthcare, or the pharmaceutical care industry. So, how about this? Fed up patients bill their doctors for wait times. More people have watched the minutes slowly tick away, waiting rooms and for their names to be called in the doctor's office. Some patients, though, have refused to wait any more time in the waiting rooms without something to show for it. Some have demanded payment for their times. Booyah! Yes, I love that. I love that. So, how about this? This is another crazy story. Walnuts are considered drugs, says the FDA. What? Walnuts are considered drugs according to the FDA. The FDA has declared the walnut to be an illegal drug as a Diamond Foods informs consumers of their nuts' health benefits. So, if you're going to claim that your food has health benefits, you can't claim that because only a drug can do that. So, the FDA has, basically declared walnut to be an illegal drug. I know, it's silly. It's silly. I'm just going to read, instead of the paper, I'm just going to go read it here. Wow. Now Big Pharma now outsources its clinical trials overseas. Why is Big Pharma outsourcing its clinical trials to children in poverty-stricken nations like India and Africa? Maybe it's because justice isn't served when things go wrong. Yes, that is freedomhealth.org, looking at that. How about this? Medical doctors needlessly prescribe 1 million antibiotics a year to children with asthma. Antibiotics have no effect on children with asthma. And it can actually perpetuate asthmatic problems. So that is in naturalnews.com. Hey, we'll be back right after this.
Do you have itchy, dry skin? Struggling with acne, eczema, asthma, or other health problems? Or maybe you're just looking for a safer, natural alternative to cleaning and skincare products. Maybe it's finally time for you to make the switch. What do I mean? A vast majority of skincare and cleaning products today contain toxic synthetic ingredients that are having a devastating effect on our health and our skin. But there is a better way. At Genuinely Pure, it's our mission to provide 100% natural and safe products that you'll absolutely love, and provide them at affordable prices. We offer a full line of products for the body, face, home, and baby, all full of pure plant-based organic ingredients to nourish, heal, and rejuvenate your skin. So now are you ready to make the switch? Come check us out on the web at genuinelypure.com. Find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Place an online order with the promo code Dr. Chad to save 10% off your purchase. Make the switch to Genuinely Pure today.
And you are tuning into Health with Dr. Chad.
All right. And from the graveyard of forgotten healthcare news, do you remember this?
Professor Ikeda has invented the first steaks based on proteins from human excrement.
日本に来ている下水汚泥をなんとか下水道局からの依頼を受けて下水汚泥の中にたくさん含まれているタンパク質をうまく取り出すことによって再利用できないかということで始め
Sewage mud is rich in protein because
Did
it
you
is
get that?
alive with bacteria. These bacteria are harmless because they are killed by heat during the manufacturing process. The red color is obtained by using food coloring. The artificial steak, according to initial tests, even tastes like
Yes,
beef.
that was
In
actually
fact, to
a
refine
news
the
story
flavor-
that we featured here on Tuning Into Health a while back. Sorry to gross you out, but the poop burgers were something that you just can't forget. You just can't forget. So, hey, do you remember this one? It says a new study shows that using statins actually harms the heart function. Did you know that? Yeah, a new study found that statins, cholesterol-lowering drugs, may negatively affect your myocardial or heart muscle function. So we use statins to prevent heart disease, right? No, they don't really prevent. They kind of hide the fact that you have a problem. And then what they end up doing is actually harming. But you know what? They haven't taken these medications off the shelves. They haven't stopped advertising these medications. But that was in Mercola.com, and that was a while back. Here here is the mechanism for that happening. So I'll show you that. And go to full screen.
Hi, this is Dr. Brian Walsh with fatisnotyourfault.com. Today, Friday, September 26th, it was released that the University of Alabama just did a study showing that statin drugs, which are designed to lower cholesterol, things like Lipitor, for example, inhibit muscle repair, or can inhibit muscle repair. And the higher the dose of the statin, the more muscles are inhibited from repairing themselves. Now, this has a number of implications, but specifically with people who are exercising. If you're exercising, especially in the hopes of reducing cholesterol and becoming healthy, if you're also taking statin drugs, your muscles may not be repairing themselves. Now, I won't go into the whole debate about cholesterol and statin drugs because it's a really long conversation. However, people need to understand the basic biochemistry of statin drugs, how it blocks cholesterol, but also how it blocks things like coenzyme Q10, which is, in my opinion, why muscle repair doesn't take place. And if people have muscle aches and pains called myalgia, CoQ10 deficiency causes this, as well as things like heart failure, which is the opposite of what most people want when they're taking statin drugs. So the next clip is about 5 minutes long, and it shows you the basic biochemistry of statin drugs, how they block cholesterol, and also how they block coenzyme Q10. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll talk to you after the clip. Hi, this is Dr. Brian Walsh, and I quickly want to go over statin drugs because they...
So that video will be on facebook.com/Rohlfsen. You're more than welcome to see that video as well, the full video. But he goes right through the biochemistry of it all and how the statins are damaging heart function or damaging your muscle repair function. So, and if there's one muscle that needs constant repair, it's the heart. It's constantly going. And it needs time to repair. And if you can't repair your heart muscle, you're screwed. How about this? Medication strips your body of vital nutrients, says a pharmacist. Often prescribed to alleviate symptoms or illness, pharmaceutical medications rarely attack the root cause and cure the illness and have added downside of side effects. Aside from the litany of many side effects listed, new book called Drug Muggers, which medications are robbing your bodies of essential nutrients, suggests that the medications may be further adding to your state of illness by stealing nutrients from your system or preventing their absorption. Not only might this make you feel worse, but it also may cause you to develop another condition. We talked about that with the purple pill, antacids, and B12. I just posted that not too long ago on my Facebook page. And B12 will rob your body's ability to absorb, Prilosec and the antacids will rob your body's ability to absorb B12, which is cobalamin, which will lead to a whole bunch of things. It will increase aging. It will increase tremors, muscle tremors. It'll do a whole bunch of stuff when your body can't absorb that. But you know what? I don't think the FDA cares too much about that type of stuff. Because one of the whistleblowers, which I really appreciate, was Dr. David Graham, senior official at the FDA's Office of Drug Safety. In an interview on a TV program, basically in 2005, he said this: the FDA is there to serve the drug industry. It's not there to serve the public. Aw, come on, Dr. Chad. Well, no, when the head of the FDA resigns her position from the FDA and gets hired by Merck to be their CEO, you know you got problems.
Quote, the FDA is there to serve the drug industry. It is not there to serve the public. This is a quote from Dr. David Graham, who is a senior official in the FDA's Office of Drug Safety. And this was a quote from an interview that he did on a television program on public television called Now, and it aired on October 21st, 2005. And I will play you the 6 or 7 minute video clip of that at the end here. Hi, this is Larry Hobbs at fatnews.com. This office that he's in, the FDA Office of Drug Safety, is responsible for monitoring drugs once they have been approved for sale. Let me continue with a quote from Dr. Graham. The FDA is an institution that has become a factory for the approval of new drugs, and safety is not a consideration. This particular program was talking about Vioxx, which is or was a COX-2 inhibitor that was used for things like arthritis pain. So he noted 100,000 people in the United States who used Vioxx, and you will also hear in this video clip that it may have been as many as 139,000 people. But anyway, 100,000 people in the United States who used Vioxx had heart attacks. It continued to happen while the FDA said that this drug was perfectly safe. So Dr. Graham told his management at the FDA that he wanted to make this information public. Let me continue with the quote from Dr. Graham. The response of management was one of negative reaction, rejection, and criticism. Let me continue with the quote. On September 22nd, I believe that was of 2004, a week before Vioxx came off the market, senior managers within the FDA were saying to me, why on earth did you study Vioxx and heart attack anyway?
Oh, God.
Continue with the quote. What it
Did
says
you miss
to
that,
me
folks?
is-
Did you miss that? The video will be up on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen. So, yeah, they want to pay attention. They want everybody not to pay attention to Vioxx and the safety. Why did you do it? Why did you do it? Well, because that's my freaking job. That's what you pay me for. That's what the American people pay him for, because that's what he's paid for with is tax money. But what he was told was something different. In fact, the CDC would like you to prepare now for the zombie apocalypse. Centers for Disease Control, May 18th, released a report warning the public to begin preparations for the zombie apocalypse. And they are dead serious. This comes from Technorati Lifestyles. CDC blog titled Preparedness 101 Zombie Apocalypse is not dismissed as an alternate internet hoax. It is instead a sober, is slightly twisted approach to individual emergency preparedness. So, yeah, the CDC is the same people that hired Bill Bipp. Remember the guy who I got in the argument with about vaccinations, and he was a 32-year veteran with the CDC, and he was a researcher in the biolabs and all this type of stuff. He starts attacking me on a Facebook group page and demands to come and meet me face-to-face right in front of all of you folks and to basically confront me on the practice of vaccination. Well, so he got his plane ticket. I saw the plane ticket, and then he started throwing all sorts of demands out because I said I wanted to have a studio audience here, just, to ask questions afterwards, and he freaked out. He freaked out and started demanding that I meet him some other place. Like I could take all this webcasting equipment to some other place and start broadcasting. Yeah, not going to happen. So I held firm to my guns, and if he did show or if he didn't show, I would have somebody here that, could be in his place. And it happened to be a mother of 2 Gardasil vaccine-injured girls. So we ended up having a great show without him. But the guy was off his rocker. And he still is today. And he says he serves in the military. I don't believe him, because nobody in the military would have that dishonorable type of genre about him. So I don't believe him. I think he was let go by the CDC. I don't know. Here's a report by the AMA. It says health insurance companies botch up to 20% of the claims. So, yeah, this is not cool. Many natural news readers have already experienced even just one of the hassles of having health insurance companies improperly file an insurance claim, and which can result in filing disputes, delayed payments, and other administrative problems, according to the American Medical Association. As many as 20% of healthcare claims are improperly filed, which are reportedly adds an additional $17 billion a year in overall healthcare burden. Can you believe that? That's just gross and misuse of, it sucks. It sucks. Here is a great little faux commercial that I want you to take a look at. This was done back in February of 2011, and I wanted you to see it right now. The commercial is called Drug. Oh, come on, folks. Don't seize up on me now. Well, come on. Oh, it's a conspiracy. I'm now having problems. Okay. We got it going? You got to be kidding me. Oh, well, we won't show that one. We won't show that one. My Safari is acting up on me, so I will go back to that here in just a little bit. I got to restart it. Mega bucks flow from drug companies to doctors. Dozens of pharmaceutical companies have given doctors and other healthcare providers more than $760 million over the past 2 years, and those company sales comprise of 40% of the U.S. market. The numbers come from a nonprofit journalism organization, ProRepublica. So, there we go. So I can kind of skip around. So, yeah, so the pharmaceutical companies are paying for doctors, and then major drug research companies fake thousands of documents to get drugs approved, and the FDA says, no big deal. Yeah, this comes from Natural News as well. And it's truly astounding to witness the utter corruption that takes place practically in plain sight within the pharmaceutical drug industry. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, has announced that the drug firm Cietro Research, for many years, knowingly forged thousands of clinical trial documents for drug companies in order for them to gain drug approval. The FDA's response to this? Tough. It's a massive corruption. Is basically no big deal. That's your tax dollars that just said that, right? Not very cool. And if you do, remember we did this not long ago. We said, once you Google the words corruption and the FDA, corruption and FDA, and see what you come up with. And what you come up with is over 7 million hits on Google. You do it for the CDC, and there's about a little over 4 million hits. So the Health and Human Services, you come up with about 1 million hits. Not good. Not good. But there is some bright news on the younger doctors, more medical doctors, more skeptical of vaccines. But a study shows doctors overall are supportive of the vaccines. But medical doctors coming out of medical schools today, younger ones, are slightly more skeptical about the safety and effectiveness of the childhood vaccination. Like Dr. Oz, he's a shill. But he's coming around. He's a friend of Dr. Mercola's, which he's an osteopath I really respect. Dr. Oz on his show, I don't know if it's The Doctors or what it is, or Dr. Oz show, basically does not vaccinate his own kids with the flu vaccine, but pushes it on a show, which doesn't sound right. He blames it on his wife. He's a weenie. Weenie, 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 weenie. Wah, my wife won't let me. So, hey, remember this? The leaked Pentagon video that they showed? Do you remember this? Let's see if we can. Whoa! Gosh, New America Now.
What you are about to hear is not science fiction or conspiracy theory, but a glimpse of what is going on behind the closed doors of the United States Pentagon. In a small auditorium labeled BC-232, a man is presenting a discussion on how the military-industrial complex can spread a virus and use a vaccine to extinguish what the Pentagon calls undesirable human behavior. Specifically in this case, religious behavior. This is dark science, my friends. With all the mandatory vaccine programs in the United States, do not be deceived for a moment that something like this will not, or possibly hasn't already, been used on the American public. Let's take a look, shall we?
Excuse me, on the left over here, we have individuals who are religious fundamentalists, religious fanatics, and this is the expression, RT-PCR, real-time PCR expression of the VMAT2 gene. Over here, we have individuals. So let me complete. So over here, we have individuals who are not particularly fundamentalists, not particularly religious, and you can see there's a much reduced expression of this particular gene, the VMAT2 gene. Another evidence that supports our hypothesis for the development of this approach. What you see
here is by spreading this virus, we're going to eliminate individuals from donning on a bomb vest and going into a market and blowing up the market.
So our hypothesis is that these are fanatical people, that they have overexpression of the VMAT2 gene, and that by vaccinating them against this, we'll eliminate this behavior. So we have some very...
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, this is discussed in the Pentagon. It's discussed in the Pentagon. And you know what? You might say, that's crazy, Dr. Chad. I know. It is a little crazy. But when you got people like Bill Gates, who's looking into population control, and he's actually said this on TED, on video. He's actually caught on video talking about population control. It makes you a little concerned about what's going on. So, I don't know. So Bill Gates says the vaccine autism link is an absolute lie, and there's no science behind it. But when you look at what else is going on, vaccine and autism, a new scientific review. This comes from CBS News. For all those who have declared the vaccine and autism vaccine debate over, new scientific review begs to differ. It considers a host of peer-reviewed published theories that show the possible connections between vaccines and autism. The article of the journal Immunotoxicology is entitled Theoretical Aspects of Autism, causes a review. Former senior scientist pharmaceutical firm Radijak did what nobody else apparently has bothered to do. She reviewed the body of published science since autism was first described in 1943. Not just one theory suggested the research, such as the role of the MMR Soch or the mercury preservative thimerosal, but all of them. So, not very good. Not very good. And how about this story on high fructose corn syrup?
By now you've probably seen the ad on high fructose corn syrup. In fact, I've talked about high fructose corn syrup before, and I actually got a little response from the corn industry, and I just wanted to share some things. First of all, I want to address that ad. I think it's misleading, so I'm just going to say that. But in the ad they say that high fructose corn syrup is made from corn. That's true. But there is a lot of things that are made from some natural substance, but once they're refined, they're not good for us. High fructose corn syrup is refined from corn. It's not a natural substance. It doesn't occur in nature. You're not going to find it anywhere until you run it through a lab. Okay? So even though it's made from corn, that's true, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. All right? Now, it doesn't have any artificial ingredients. You know, I don't think that's a true statement, because it is itself an artificial ingredient. Sucrose, table sugar, is an artificial ingredient. There is no place to find sucrose in nature. It's refined from beets or sugar cane, but it's not a natural substance. It's probably safer than a lot of the chemical things that are completely manufactured, but it still has a manufacturing and a refining process. You want to eat foods that are closer to their origin. You want to eat the real food. Fruits and corn with the natural fructose in them, they're fine. But if we're going to refine it and put it into all these different foods, then we're going to have a problem. It is not a natural substance. It is manufactured. Now, in the commercial, they say it's fine in moderation. Well, what does that mean? I have an article here from Science Daily, and, you know, we're finding in research that our highest caloric intake in this country, in America, is high fructose corn syrup. It's outrageous how much we're taking in. Do you know how much sugar you can take in a
It's
drink?
in everything, folks.
Sodas are our highest caloric intake. People are drinking so much soda. Do you know how much sweetener's in those things?
It's a lot. So that will be on Facebook.com/Rohlfsen as well. You know what? I didn't think I was going to get through as much as I did. But since I got through a lot of this, I think I'm going to end the show with a nom nom nom. Where is that? Oh, gosh. Okay, I got to show you this. I'm sorry. Tonsil stones. Do you remember that? Do you remember that? You can't go by without seeing this one more time this year, right? That's what the tonsils do. They actually produce stones. So it's a mix of calcium and pus, and that's what it is. Yuck. Your tonsils are a major factor in how your body's immune system works. It's the first line of defense. So I'll put up the tonsil stones on that as well. But I tell you what, it's been a fun year. It's been a changing year for me in this practice. I've developed it into what's called the membership practice. And a membership practice is some place that you can go to and pay a flat fee, just like a health club. You pay the enrollment fee, and then you pay a monthly fee, and you get unlimited service. And basically, that's what my practice is today, and I won't ever go back. It's a wonderful thing.
Let's listen to your lungs.
So
why don't you come on in?
Richard Gregson says he couldn't
Medical
be
doctors are
happier
doing
with
it
his
too.
medical care. His new doctor helped him recover from walking pneumonia. Richard, who's retired and without insurance right now, thought he might be recovering from a hefty bill. But because he is a Medline patient, he only pays a $49 a month membership fee and $10 a visit, less than most gym memberships.
I'm feeling better. I feel much healthier. And probably the most important thing, I don't have to worry about who I go to if I'm sick.
Dr. Samir Kamar and his wife started Medline in Monterey just over a year ago. Their medical membership practice grew so fast they just opened a new office in Mountain View, mostly serving the underinsured and the unemployed with no insurance.
So for those of you chiropractors that are out there kind of not liking the membership practice ideal, I tell you what, that's what the medical doctors are doing. And they're getting out of the insurance industry because it's not a very good thing. Not a very good thing. So,
I'm going to do something to government.
Wait a second. We got to get over Mitt Romney here. I wanted to leave you with this little video because I think it's a great, funny video. Nom, nom, nom. Babies and picture song. But we got to get over the Romney video. I don't know. Anybody's better than Barack Obama. So I hope I hope that you go out and vote this primary if you're in Iowa or New Hampshire or wherever, and choose your conscience, because we got to get rid of our President Barack Obama. It hasn't been a very good 3 years in my estimation. So I'm going to leave you with this, folks. It's a lot of fun. I don't know if I'll show the whole thing or not.
Eagle, and I'm big pimpin' in America. Big pimpin' in America. Yeah, and we're looking so fine. Oh, let our powers combine. 'Cause tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1929. Num, 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 babies. How about this year for Halloween, you ruin your child's self-esteem? Oh, fame! I just want to live till tomorrow. Somebody give me an H and a few ibuprofen, please. That's what you get for pissing off the leprechaun that lives next door to you. Oh, you're under arrest for being my grandson. Oh, I got a facelift at Office Depot. Oh, what Amish, this is just how we roll. I'm putting out a decoration of booby petunias. Sometimes God just needs to relax and have a place to sit down. Yeah, this is awesome, but there's no way that C-3PO can raise his arms that high. You're so cute, I wanna cry. It's not such a smart car anymore, is it, smart guy? Ooh, sometimes you gotta stop and give your own butt cheeks a hug. Sometimes you just gotta play ninja basketball and kick them in the nuts. Hey, look, I'm that girl who used to hang out with Paris Hilton. Hey, look at me. I'm Sarah Palin in 45 years. Do you? I do. Do you? I do. Is it cool if I park my Transformer right here? Oh, I know this is wrong, but it's awesome. Oh, I'm teaching my son how to grow up to be a dick.
Okay, that's enough. Hey, I want to thank you for everything this last 3 years I've been doing this show. It's been a lot of fun. Tuning into health. You know what? We've grown in numbers, and we've grown with people watching, and I'm just here to have some fun and to develop my copy reading skills. And yeah, just to have some fun, and I really appreciate you coming along the ride for me. Hey, listen, before we go, Don Ross with Breakfast for Dogs. He is the artist that is going to be featured in this song. And just so if anybody's wondering, this song is used with full permission from Don Ross. He's allowed me to use many of his songs. So, on that note, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next year. Have a great one, folks.